Hey there, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Today we're going for an easy one, which is just as well because I'm not feeling too good today. Feeling a bit fluey, but I'm pushing on as I always do. This one's called poached pears, and these are something I've made before. This might be a slight variation on what I normally do because I'm poaching with vanilla and cinnamon as opposed to normally just in water with sugar. So here's what we need. This will serve 4 if you have 1 pear each. If you want to put more pears in, I suggest you'd have to double it. Delicious served with whipped cream or ice cream. So come on in and I'll show you what we're going to do and what we're going to need. Alright, so this is a stovetop recipe, so therefore you're going to obviously need the top of your stove. Saucepan, you want a medium-sized one. There's no point in going with a small one because your pears will feel like sardines in a little tin. We also need 3/4 cup of caster sugar, 4 cups of water. That's what I snuck in down the bottom of the list there. There's always something I forget, and I normally find out when I go through the recipe. Cinnamon sticks, you can buy them in a jar, and they look like a twig off the tree, but I can reassure you that is a cinnamon stick. Vanilla beans, I brought these in Coles. They were $8 for 2. I normally try and avoid cooking with them for that reason because they are very expensive. However, you do get a really good flavouring from them. So you'll notice a lot of fancy desserts with them. Look, they come in a little, I don't know if that's glass. I'm not about to drop it on the floor to find out. A screw top vial. We basically just have to cut that and then we scrape out all the vanilla inside it. So I will show you how to do that because I think I've only done that once or twice. So that's just so you know. Keep the other one. I'm really hoping that when I do a big pantry clean out, I don't find that I've got one because I could have saved myself $8. 4 pears. These are obviously, if you know you're doing this recipe, try and buy your pears in advance so they can start to soften because I only just brought these yesterday, and while I don't want to go bouncing them around, they're pretty hard. Don't throw them at anyone. Alright, so all we're going to do with these is we're going to peel them, keep the little stem on them because I guess they come in handy like a handle, and we're going to put them all in here. So first of all, while we're peeling the pears, we can have the liquid in poaching. So grab those 4 cups of water. You'll just need a wooden spoon. Would probably be best as a stirring implement for this. Yeah. I suffer from hay fever, but I think I've got hay fever with the flu today. I basically feel like I've been hit by a truck, and I guess I could just say I'm fortunate that I have had my flu shot. I'm sorry. Otherwise, probably wouldn't even be up, and I wouldn't care about cooking pears today. So, as I say, I'm a trooper, and I just got to soldier on. All right, cinnamon stick, in she goes. All right, now the vanilla bean. So choose either one. I love the smell of vanilla. It's one of my favourite smells. So I'm going to keep that over there. Alright. Just give the water a stir because you've got your sugar all at the bottom. Okay, now to cut this, you want to actually cut it down the middle. Try and get a sharp knife and keep your fingers away from it. Alright, I'm hoping that this will... Okay, there we go. Alright, so inside there is all your vanilla. If you really can't be bothered using this, you're just going to have to use your vanilla essence. Now I'm getting vanilla all over my hands. Okay, so it says to scrape it out. That is vanilla. Weird, right? Vanilla, you always... Everything that's vanilla flavoured is white. So it's a mystery to me as to why it's black. Anyway. Sorry if I ruined your illusion of vanilla. I don't know why we can't poach the whole bean. Maybe because that way we're not going to get the full vanilla out. Now I'm just going to confirm something in a minute once I've done this, because I can't see why we shouldn't just put the rest of the bean in to float around, because we're not serving the vanilla bean, we're serving the syrup with it. Yeah, I don't want to try to not use my finger, or lose my finger as well, I might add. Sometimes when you're working around knives a lot, or in other jobs, you tend to become a bit blasé about your surroundings, and that's when accidents happen. So lucky my knives aren't super sharp. Okay. Alright, so now it looks literally like ash floating on the water, but however, I can reassure you that is vanilla bean insides, I guess you could call it. Look, black dust. Good, I'm going to smell like vanilla today now. Alright, pop that on the stovetop on a medium heat, and while that's going on, we will get the pears ready. Okay, so it actually does say to just have the scraped vanilla bean. However, I can't see what harm that's going to do. So I'm going to put these in as well, because that might encourage more of the vanilla powder to come out. We're not eating the vanilla bean, and we're not eating the cinnamon stick. And I'm also just going to dip that knife in because that's vanilla. Okay, peeling pears is pretty easy. You could use a knife, or you can use a vegetable peeler. I use a vegetable peeler. I probably find that easier. So just basically imagine it's a potato, but obviously it's not. So what we're going to do is, once that sugar's dissolved, these are going for a swim, and they're going to soak up all that delicious cinnamon and vanilla flavouring, and they're going to be good. Poached pears is a great recipe for a winter's day, especially with, as I said, you could have ice cream or whipped cream with it. A lot of times my ma used to love cooking custard to go with things. Obviously, I don't have much custard anymore. I sort of left that one to her. So I'm going to have to learn how to make custard as good as she did. It was good. Custard goes with everything, by the way. Ice cream goes with everything too, and definitely whipped cream. So, yeah, they're all good things. Alright, so you get the idea. So I'm just going to finish peeling these, and then I'm going to be right back with you. Alright, so right now you are looking at 4 beautifully peeled pears and a pile of pear skins. Now, if you're wondering what do you do with the pear skins, this is one of my many little kitchen composters. I started using these to keep in the kitchen while my compost bin is very full. So I generally try and use the compost bins in the kitchen for like various things. One's got tea in it, one's got something else in it. So that will sit in here for a couple of weeks. Basically it will start to break it down so that when it goes out into the compost bin, it won't have as much, won't take up as much room, I should say. Alright, so I think our sugar's nearly dissolved, so let's go over and give these boys a swim. Okay, so our sugar hasn't fully dissolved, our vanilla beans are floating around, and our cinnamon stick is floating around. Alright, but we're close enough, so what we're going to do is bring over the pears. As I said, good thing about keeping the handles on them, I suppose, is you can lower them into their death bed. It sounds a bit harsh, but in we go. Alright, they can stand up. Pop the lid on. All that vanilla bean that's floating around will attach itself to the pears. Pop on your lid. We want it to go for 15 minutes once they start boiling. So until they start boiling, you don't put your timer on. Okay, I'm going to be back in 15 minutes, and hopefully the way to tell if a pear is done is to get a small knife and prod it. If it's still firm, give them longer. As I said, the riper you can get the pears, the quicker this recipe will cook. So pears are one of those that take a long time to ripen. So ideally, if you have 4 pears that are sitting in the bottom of the fridge because you brought, say, a packet 2 or 3 weeks ago, this recipe is definitely perfect for those 4 pears. And you get to have a dessert made out of them. Alright, I'm going to be back soon. Okay, my buzzer's gone off for the 15 minutes. They are smelling great. However, they're probably not done. So I'm going to grab said knife. Give them a stab. No, they're still hard. So what you can do now, increase the heat, give them another 5 minutes, and I'll be back soon. Okay, so I ended up giving them a lot of extra 5 minutes. My best tip to you is, if you do have to give them another 5 minutes, roll them over and turn it up, because that way then you're cooking them in all angles. So when I stick my knife in them, they are soft now, so therefore they are ready. Turn off your heat. I would leave the lid on them and get them off that hot plate, because they are technically still cooking and they're going to stay warm. I am going to have those for dessert tonight. Alright, thank you so much for watching this episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been poached pears. I hope you enjoy them, and I'll catch you soon.